Good morning, YouTube. Thanks for watching this replay. Guess it's good afternoon now. Hi, good morning. How are you? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm so used to coming on in the morning. How's everybody? How's everybody doing? We're gonna start reading cards soon. We're just gonna get all settled into the room first and say hi to everybody as they arrive. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. The replay of this is gonna be on my Tuned In Tarot YouTube later. So if you can't stay for the whole thing, you can catch it later. But welcome in. I'm incredibly frustrated. I don't know why, but I have been trying to post this really beautiful Divine Masculine channeled love letter since 9 this morning. The first time I posted it, it had 0 views after 15 minutes, so I assumed there was some kind of a bug or whatever, so I deleted the video, and I was like, that's fine, I'll try right before my live. Just posted again, and it was still at 0 views just a minute ago, and it says it's still processing. It's very frustrating because it was like a difficult, like I wrote an entire thing for it. I don't want to throw the content away, and I want the messages to get out. So I hate when this happens, but I guess it's just my luck this morning. So keep checking back my TikTok to see if that Divine Masculine channeled love letter is available. I think I'm just going to go ahead and upload it to YouTube. Because fuck TikTok. If you can't get your shit together and actually allow your creators to post their fucking content, then I guess we'll go somewhere else. Like, I don't know what else to do. It's so frustrating to like have a lot of the content that you work really hard on just, oh, it's a bug. And when I was with a TikTok agency for a while, but then I stopped working with them because all they wanted me to do was just make GIFs on lives so that they could keep their contract, because TikTok paid them to like train us to make diamonds. And I used to, even with them, I would have like a direct contact from TikTok, and I would be like, hi, why is this video not, posting, or is there a violation? They'd be like, oh, we don't know. Fix your program. You take billions of dollars from all of us creators. Fucking fix it. Get it together. Like, god damn it, I'm so irritated by it. But, I guess we should come in, get centered, release the frustration. And, it's probably having something to do with the letter itself. And because I have the letter written right here, I'm going to read it to you, and you all can hear the Divine Masculine love letter. And I'll get around it that way, and then I will post it later today if you want to hear it again, because you know what? It's a freaking beautiful letter. So the way that I get these letters is I shuffle my Modern Love Tarot deck, and then I use the guidebook, which is one of the best guidebooks, really. It has different sections. It has general love, meaning if you're single and loving it, ready for love and dating, committed relationship, struggling relationship, and then if there's an ending. The anchor behind me says, I refuse to sink. Also, kisses right back at you, Cookie Jar Bandit. I really like your handle. So what I do is I draw the card. I feel into the card first, but then I read through the guidebook, and I take phrases that really catch my eye to create a whole love letter from it. And they turn out really beautifully. I've done 2 of them so far. There's a playlist on my TikTok profile if you want to see them. And there's supposed to be a 3rd one, but I don't know, because I'm on a live right now, so I don't know if it showed up yet. I'm going to check. I think it's like still processing. Yep. It's so frustrating. Okay, well, I'm going to read you this love letter from the Divine Masculine today. Dear Divine Feminine. Oh, so the 2 cards that came out, there was an 8 of Wands, and you know what? I'm going to pull them. I'm going to show them to you because I feel like you need to see the picture to get the full effects of the message, actually. And you know, a lot of times when I can't get a message to go out like that, I think it's because it's only meant for a select few people. And, you know, it's just not meant for the larger collective. So if you're here right now, it's probably a sign that this is definitely a message from your divine masculine. And that's why only you are getting to hear this message today, I guess. Okay, so the two cards that came out when I did this earlier today, the first card that came out was the Eight of Wands. Hi! You're in Massachusetts? Oh my god. I'm so glad that you came here today because I have to move to Massachusetts. I've been trying to move to Massachusetts for 3 months. Actually, longer than that. It's been 8 months, but I have been actively trying to move there for 3 months. I have a very low budget. I'm going to follow you, which is my problem. And the reason why is because my son lives there, and he lives with my rigid, controlling, narcissistic abuser ex-husband. And my son is 16, and it would be easier for him to live with me without having to go through like a long, drawn-out custody battle. So I'm supposed to return there, and I'm just looking for housing, and I'm also just looking to meet people that are in my collective, because when I lived there for 7 years before, it was really difficult for me to make friends. So I just followed you, and maybe you'll see me again in the future. Okay, so these are the two cards that came out. The first one was the Eight of Wands, and the second one was this Five of Wands. And here is the Divine Masculine Love Letter as I dictated it or channeled it this morning. Dear Divine Feminine, it is time for me to stop procrastinating when it comes to matters of the heart, to prioritize and give my full attention to you. I know we both have been waiting for things to feel more lively in our relationship, that we've been feeling so low. That changes now. Pack your bags because we are about to go on another adventure together. Pick a place you have always wanted to explore, because I'm going to take you there and finally enjoy some alone time with you. Things are moving fast now, and I have to remind myself to allow our relationship to grow organically. I don't want to move more quickly than I'm comfortable with, because I worry we might lose hold of this connection. And I know you wouldn't ever make me feel rushed, because you've already shown so much restraint. It is time to sweep out the cobwebs and give our relationship a spring clean, renewing our commitment to one another and creating movement and space for our love to grow. We need to have that heart-to-heart and ensure that we are both aligned about our future together. We both come with our baggage, and each of us thinks our own way is the right way. Tempers have flared, and the energy between us has been tense and uncomfortable. We have to remember to breathe and not let our baggage get the best of us. We can expect some complications in our life. Work and family may get intense, but we just need to give ourselves a little grace and try to ride out this time without putting additional pressure on ourselves. It will all work out. Don't be surprised if the trolls come out from under their bridges and make this initial dating period challenging, but we can't let them get us down or make us stoop to their level. This too shall pass, and only you and I will remain. Right now, the tension in my daily life is so high that I could cut it with a knife, and I have to remove myself from this uncomfortable living environment before I say and do things I can't take back. To say that there is a power struggle between me and my ex is an understatement. I have to get to the root of the problem and deal with our issues as soon as possible, so I can return some balance to my home. I have to stop fighting with myself about whether to completely cut ties and stay away, because it's already happened. I've been confused about what direction I should take, and felt for a while that the best thing was to wait until I had better clarity, or at least get some neutral counsel to salvage what I can of my former happiness. But as I said at the beginning of the letter to you, it is now time to get moving. So that's where the masculine energy is today. For some reason, TikTok doesn't want you to know that. I don't know. It makes me just want to get a completely different job, because it's just so inconsistent and frustrating. But hopefully that reading will come out later. I don't know if they'll just finally let it process or whatever is going on. I don't know if I should risk trying to post something else later, because if you delete them, if you delete a lot of your videos, TikTok gets annoyed about that and stops putting your stuff in the FYP. So there's like nothing you can do. It's really aggravating. But anyway, so the energy from the divine masculine then is, you know, he's ready to go. He wants to get this moving along. He anticipates that it is going to be a struggle and not going to be simple or straightforward. And of course, if he thinks that way, then that's the way it will be. So he would have to shift his thinking about it in order for it to be a little more streamlined, a little simpler. The vibe I got from the reading that I did today was very much that the conflict between himself and whatever third party, the family, the ex-partner, whatever it is, it's really formidable, and it's not simple or easy for him to solve. So that is kind of where he is at mentally. But let's take a look at the energy today of the connection. We're going to use the Twin Flame Journey for Divine Love, I think, or something. Yeah, Twin Flame Union Tarot Spread for Journey to Love. There we go. Which I've been doing lately. It's by Liv Tarot, who's one of the readers I first cut my teeth on. You're currently living in Kansas, but you might move this winter. Where will you be moving to? Yes, I will be your friend. I love that. I'm so glad. And yeah, the housing in Massachusetts is insane. Honestly, the prices in this, like, I want to live like in, my son goes to school in Framingham, but he works in Hopkinton. Although he works at Dunkin' Donuts, so he could probably work at any Dunkin' Donuts, honestly, if we moved. But I kind of like that area. I used to live in Whitensville, which is like outside of Worcester, and I really liked that area, and I was thinking, oh, I'll just move back there because I liked that area a lot already. I mean, as much as I've ever liked any part of Massachusetts. I'm from New York, so it's against my nature to enjoy Massachusetts outside of going to Boston for some lobster once in a while. But I was like, okay, I'll just move back there. When I lived there in 2013, I had a townhouse. It was like a row house in a, you know, it wasn't the bougiest part of town, but it wasn't awful because it's a little small town anyway. And it was a 2.5 bedroom with a 1 bathroom, and I had a basement. And it was $850 a month. $850 a month. I can't find anything in Whitensville for under $2,000 right now. What? That's nuts. It's not like it became Los Angeles overnight or New York City. Like, oh, it's not, oh, living in Waynesville, like, what a dream. I'm going to be able to, like, rude. And I left Los Angeles thinking, oh, well, at least I'll save money on my housing. No, I won't. I was paying exactly the same. Like, I was paying $750 for the place that I lived in Los Angeles because I had an affordable housing place. And if I had wanted to move into, like, a nicer place, like, over on the west side, I could have paid $1,800, like, to live in fucking, like, Beverly Hills, like a shitty studio. But, like, I would have been in Beverly Hills. Like, I'm just so confused about the prices. It is nutty. Hi, April. Do you want me to pull a card for you before I get started on the collective reading? If you have a prayer badge by your name, which means you've become one of my subscribers, I will pull a card for you when I do see you in the chats. You can either ask for a general energy, or if you have one question, I can answer it for you with one card. Yeah, and I just don't know what I'm going to do because I don't know. Like, this is my job. I read tarot live, and I do personal tarot readings, and I'm a musician. I teach lessons, but I don't really have a lot of students right now. I guess I could, like, try to get more students at this point, but I'm kind of busy. Like, I actually really do work quite a lot, and I just have not made anywhere near what I would need to. I'm struggling to pay my car still. So it's been a rough few months, but I have to move to Massachusetts. Like, I can't stay here forever. So I got to get there somehow. So if you know of anybody who has like a basement or, you know, something that, because if I got there, my biggest issue is if I moved there, I could then like try to get a job there. But trying to get a job there has been really difficult without actually being physically present there. I also can't register my car. Like, I can't do anything. My car has expired tags from July on it because I thought I would have moved into Massachusetts by then. So it's really expensive to register it in New York, and my registration from California, for some reason, it's not letting me renew it, and I don't know why. And so I'm just like, I just want to move there. Thank you so much. I thought about even contacting my church there that I used to go to. I used to go to a Catholic church in Whitensville, and just being like, is there anyone in your community that would like rent out a suite, a bedroom, or whatever, you know, just for a short period of time while I transition? Because once I get there, I have the ability to get legal help for my custody situation. I can't do that unless I have a Massachusetts address. Once I have a Massachusetts address, I have this legal aid or this legal organization that helps with women who have had like narcissistic abusers, etc. And they will help me get my custody agreement sorted out so that I won't have to pay my wealthy ex-husband child support, which I somehow have to pay him now, even though he makes way more than I do, and I was the primary caregiver for 8 years. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try something. I've honestly been waiting for more financial stability, but that's not been happening. So I think I'm just gonna reach out to the church that I went to. It's been so many years since I was there, though. Abriel, is that your name? I don't know if that's your name, but did you have a question? If you want to ask a question, or I can pull one card for you for general energy, and then I will start my collective reading for everybody. Yeah, I kind of don't want to do that. GoFundMe, like, I don't want to do it. I know, because I would rather raise money for my record than to get into an apartment. You know what I don't know. Like, I would rather raise money for like a creative project, but I guess that's silly. You left that to me? Okay, let me just grab one card for you. General energy. Ooh, Queen of Wands energy. So confident, bold, very powerful energy. There's, you know, this is witchy energy, somebody who knows their power, attractive. You could be pulling in things that you need right now. There's obviously strength there. She's leaning back on this bell bar. So like, there is definitely strength, a lot of strength within you. And there's like a burning passion for something. Oh, I love that she's got the black cat on her leg. That's like Venus's, a sign of Venus, and it's about sensuality. And then of course this lion, which also forms kind of a heart shape here too. Leo, Aries, Sag energy of the fiery wands. And it's about holding your vision, and it's about having your vision having such a strong hold over you that nothing can shake it. And I feel like it's a message for me too. So that resonates, definitely. Needing to do that in your life, absolutely. All right, let's get started on this tarot spread for your journey to love. We're going to do divine masculine and feminine energy. We're going to ask 5 questions of each one of them, and I'm going to pull for the masculine energy first. What do I really want? I'm sorry, feminine. I'm pulling for feminine energy first. What do I really want from this union? What do I really want from this union? All right, that card reversed itself. What am I not seeing clearly about my divine masculine? What would my life be like if we got together? How does he truly feel about me deep down in his heart? And where is this connection going in the future? So if anyone would like a personal reading today, the way that you do it is you click the link in my profile. Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App is available once you scroll down a little bit. And you send $33 and I will answer a question for you. I have a few different spreads for you to choose from. Usually I wait for your question and then help you decide which spread works best. And if you'd rather have a private reading, there's a link there to book a personal private reading on my site, and they start at $33 over there. And you can put your question in the notes. And I'm also running a sale right now through the 11th, so it's going to be good until midnight tomorrow night. But if you book a $33 reading on my site, you can put in the notes section that you would like the Tell Me Everything spread, which is normally $44, and I will do the Tell Me Everything spread for you for $33. So if you want to take advantage of that, you have until tomorrow at midnight to book your session, and you can book your session for any time. Like you could book it for next year if you wanted to, but you have to book it by tomorrow to get the deal. And it's just my 11/11 portal, $11 off type of deal. Okay, let's take a look. What do I really want from this union? All right, so this card was upright and then it spun around on my table. And I think it's interesting that it spun around because it's an hourglass. And that's literally how an hourglass works. And I just heard if I could turn back time. Very, very interesting. So for the divine feminine, what do I want from this union? I want to see that my luck can turn around, that things can change, that I can change, that the cycle will end, that it won't just continue on and on forever and ever, but that there will be change here, and that my luck will turn around, that the divine timing will allow for us to be together, and that it will not keep preventing that from happening. What does divine masculine really want from this union? He wants this love. He wants to have this physical, romantic, loving, spiritual connection with the divine feminine. He wants to see eye to eye. He wants to definitely become one together. Divine feminine, what am I not seeing clearly about my divine masculine? Look how wild that is. You're not seeing that this is what he wants. You're not seeing that he really, really does want to be together, that he really does want this love, that he really does want to manifest this in the physical reality. You're really not seeing that clearly, and you're also not seeing how much he loves you and how he's learned how to approach his emotions from the feminine receptive energy so that he can be open to love. In some cases, not in all cases, it depends on where you are in your journey. In some cases, he may have other lovers and you're not seeing that clearly, but I think that's a very small percentage of people. That was not my overwhelming feeling when I pulled the card, but I should say that just because it occurred to me that that could be true for some. What is divine masculine not seeing clearly about you, divine feminine? The Eight of Pentacles. Divine masculine just looks at you and he's like, oh my God, she's so amazing. She's so incredible. And I'll never be like that. And he doesn't really understand the work that you have put in. He's not seeing clearly that you do this work so that you are balanced. You do this work so that you feel better about yourself, so that you have less problematic relationships that are choking out your true love feelings. Like he doesn't see that it takes time and energy to create this, vision that he's constantly putting on a pedestal, that it's not something that you did overnight, or that it doesn't take constant work and time, attention, and devotion. And I also don't know that he really realizes how devoted you are to him. I don't know that he's ever experienced a level of devotion like yours before. What would my life be like if we got together? Divine Feminine, a little naive here. We've got the Page of Cups. You're like, oh, it's, bubblegum and lollipops. But you would have true love. I do think there's some emotional underdevelopment that you're going to have to wade through. It's not just going to be a straightforward situation where once you come into union, everything suddenly is sorted, and this person who's been incredibly immature for the last X amount of years is suddenly capable of emotional mastery. That's just really naive to think like that. Whatever problems you have right now, you carry with you into the relationship. And so if it's communication issues, if it's anxious avoidant attachment issues, you're carrying that in. And so you have a space where you have to work together to become much more secure, to create secured attachment styles. And that usually starts with the anxious person rather than the avoidant person. The avoidant person is going to avoid working on themselves as long as possible. The anxious person is seeking relief from the anxiety. And so they will do whatever it takes to get into a state of feeling secure. So the dynamic between you will likely be led by the person who has had the anxious side of things. Most people have both anxious and avoidant attachment, but there's usually a dominant style. So anxious attachment style is you haven't heard from your person in 4 days, and you start watching twin flame readings because you're thinking of yourself as in separation now. Like, it's been 4 days, talk to me when it's 14 years kind of a thing. Separation in over 4 days is not separation. It's not separation ever. Even 14 years where there's no separation. Separation is an illusion. But the anxiety that person hasn't contacted you, if they look at you weird, you're like, oh my God, I think they're upset with me. I don't know what I said. And then you're kind of like picking at them, like, are you okay? Did I do something? And your person is immediately defensive, like, what are you talking about? And then you're like, oh my God, they're so mad at me. So meanwhile, the other person was just avoiding some kind of emotion that they didn't know how to express. Rather than expressing it, they internalized it. It caused them to get into this weird state. And then you were just like, the anxious avoidance cycle is just kicked up. Okay? That's not going anywhere until you really feel secure in your attachments. And the only way to do that is to practice it. And so yeah, when you get together, you're going to have true love, but you're going to have to grow up together emotionally. And it's probably not going to be a walk in the park. Like, it'll be more like a walk through Yosemite without like all your supplies, like, you're gonna have to be scrappy and figure it out. All right, so for Divine Masculine, what would my life be like if we got together? Divine Masculine is feeling that his life would really start to calm down, that the turbulent, fear-based thinking that he has lived in for a long time will be something that he can put behind him. That instead of his dark thoughts pulling him away and causing him to run away from his feminine, dark thoughts will motivate him to work with her, to try to figure things out, to move things forward rather than holding them back. Again, it's still going to be a thing where the painful lessons of the past are going to be one of the reasons why we're progressing. So it's going to be a little bit tumultuous getting from one shore to the next, but it's a promise of moving from a place of tumult into something that's a lot more calm and peaceful. How does Divine Masculine truly feel about me deep down in his heart? Divine Feminine, that the Divine Masculine thinks of you as the Divine Feminine, the Empress energy, that he thinks of you as the ultimate nurturer, mother energy, the creative and abundant energy that you are, very beautiful, very powerful and somewhat intimidating. Like an Empress is like an empress, like she commands empires. So he He definitely feels that you are this very powerful figure in his life. How does the Divine Feminine truly feel about me deep down in her heart? We have here this masculine tuning into the Divine Feminine, you know, being in a state of maintaining some detachment, emotional detachment from him at this time, to analyze any red flags that might still be present, but ultimately really wanting to communicate and speak truth with the Divine Masculine. He sees you as understanding, like you're going to understand some of the reasons why the situation is the way that it was between you. He sees you as very intelligent. And so Divine Feminine, he's seeing you as being a very discerning person and going after what you desire and being very independent, and a bit intimidating to approach. And that you think that about yourself. Like, you know that about yourself. Okay, where is this connection going in the future? Ugh. Okay. More of this. Two of Swords. This is nowhere. It's going nowhere. And for the masculine, the Emperor. Okay. So for Divine Feminine, we are at a standstill until this person turns over and actually communicates. So the Divine Feminine is not making any choices, no decisions. She's not going anywhere, actually. She's just hanging out and, you know, watching the Divine Masculine, knowing he's watching her, and kind of being at peace with that right now. And the masculine, where it's going for the masculine, is that he has to go into this Emperor energy. He has to make a bold decision to step forward into his power and communicate what he actually desires. And the thing is, there's stubbornness. Somebody just said stubborn energy right there. Stubborn Taurus energy. There is stubbornness in this masculine. And so unless this masculine can overcome his stubbornness, it's just going to be in that Two of Swords, because this feminine is done. Like, there's no reason for her to communicate with this masculine anymore. She has communicated as much as she possibly could, to the point where it's embarrassing, almost a bit humiliating to her that she has like sent that many messages when he has said nothing or ignored her, or, you know, whatever it is. So feminine is not budging. There's no budging going on for her, and it's just. That's just for her. She's like, if I continue to communicate with him, he'll never move. I send him a message and he'll just eat it up and then just feel like, oh, everything's fine and I can take as much time as I need. And that's not the case. You can't just take as much time as you need and expect the feminine to not live, you know, like that's not realistic. So, yeah, she's just like, well, if you're going to be stubborn and you're not going to communicate, then the connection isn't going anywhere. So the masculine is needing to step into his power and overcome that controlling energy where he controls his emotions, and really be the Emperor here. And yes, we did have two different decks that gave us the Empress and the Emperor. So there's 100% divine counterpart energy in this reading. But yeah, it's kind of at a frustrating standstill right now until the masculine budges out of his throne. I'm not satisfied. I want more. What is it going to take to break this standstill? What is it going to take from each person? What does the feminine need to do to break the standstill on her end? What does feminine need to do on her end to break the standstill? All right, two things. And what does the masculine need to do on his end to break the standstill? Divine Feminine's getting the Eight of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is about spiritual fulfillment. It's about bliss, happiness, joy, your dream of what that looks like. And the Eight of Wands, we heard extensively about that in the Divine Masculine Love Letter, which won't post to TikTok for some fucking reason. I'm gonna check again and see if it's done processing. Nope, it's still not there. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so irritating. I had this beautiful letter. It didn't go out. I'm going to try to get it to go out again later. I don't know why it won't post. It's just stuck in processing. It's really annoying. But the Eight of Wands is about communication. It's about forward motion, movement. She is holding the Divine Masculine's hand and leading him. And I guess that's what it's going to take. And, you know, I don't like that. I don't like that. That it's put on the feminine. And it's even emphasized because what's it going to take for the masculine to budge? The feminine here with the Ten of Wands carrying all this burden. Seeing the feminine as having been wholly responsible for this connection and carrying the burden of this connection for so long is going to shame him into moving out of this position. So I guess this is also, I mean, the feminine's moving on in this. She's packed her bags and she's gone. She's going towards her own happiness and her own bliss fulfillment. And that is what it's going to take. It's like the feminine has to show the masculine energy that she's not willing to wait around for him to get off his throne. She's going to have to take on her own burdens and walk her path and go towards her happiness, and swiftly, like as swiftly as she can. So I don't love that, but that is what the card said today. So in order to change the situation, basically you gotta go. You gotta go towards what makes you happy, and what would make you happy involves family, friendships, relationships with other people, honestly. And he needs to see that you were the one that carried the burden of the relationship, and that you were no longer willing to do that, and you would rather walk alone than wait around for him. And he's got to really see that. And the reason why I hate this message for myself is because look at what she's heading towards. Those mountains. I feel emotion coming up. I can see where the trigger is for me, because there are so many obstacles I'm perceiving that I would need to overcome on my own. And I have so desperately wanted support and connection. For me personally, I haven't had a relationship in 14 years. No physical affection outside of like really, really unfulfilling. Like once in a while, like literally once, like in a year or more. I support a lot of other people every day. That's my job, is to help them with their burdens, and I like that work. But the idea that the way to break this standstill is for me to try to head towards all of those mountains by myself is like really terrifying, because I'm so tired and I just don't want to do it alone anymore. And I'm sure there's so many of you who feel that same way. feel how unfair it is and how impossible it seems. You know, like I started off this live talking about trying to get an apartment for months while still doing this work that's so meaningful to me, and trying not to have to give in and do things that don't feel good, and having stupid obstacles too, like trying to post my content and having it blocked for some reason, and it just feels like the universe is like pushing back every single thing I try to do. Like I was saying to my friend the other night that it feels like I'm at a point in my life where I think I really could like be with someone else or do something else, but everything I try to do, it won't work out. It's like the universe is forcing me into this holding pattern, which I don't understand, because I'm trying to be open and do everything I can to like get out of this pattern. So it just feels really, it's like a very frustrating message, honestly. It just makes me be like, no, I don't think that I should have to do this. I don't think that I should have to do, like, this is what makes like, he doesn't already realize that this is what I've been doing. And maybe that's the real message here, is that the only thing that's going to change, or the only way that this is going to change, is if you acknowledge that this person should have realized this by now. Like, he doesn't realize that. Like, I'm sorry, he watches my content. If you watch my content, you know everything about me for the most part. Like, I am very open, and he has access to all of that information about me. You don't know this? So there is a part of me that's like, if you have already done this, been doing this, and the person that you are focused on is oblivious, that says more about the person that you're focused on than it does about your journey. It says that the person who you're meant to be with is going to see this clearly. They're going to see the burdens that you've carried. They're going to see how hard you work. They're going to see the devotion that you put in. They're not going to be oblivious to it. And it's going to take moving on from this particular person right now, like really, really doing that, to absolutely break the standstill of not having a loving connection in your life. And the odds are that it's potentially the person you're focused on that is why. Look at that. The devil at the bottom of the deck. The karmic energy. So it's like, oh, I guess I can see why I'm stuck. I'm stuck because this person that I'm focused on is not in alignment with the masculine energy in me, you know? I say that, and then at the same time I'm like, but I have tried. I've tried, like, to put myself into a position where I can be with someone else or do something else, and it just, I don't know, it's so resistant. And I guess it's just showing me that I'm still resistant within myself to leaving that person. Like, there's still the part of me that's still holding on. And, you know, to my detriment, it has not been beneficial to me to hold on to this connection in the past few years. Like, for a long time, it really helped me grow. And now it has become very stifling, and I can feel that. Let me read some of these comments. Sorry to have an emotional breakdown. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate all of this. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all so much. It is really difficult to do this, and I'm glad we all are together. Do you feel like that's his energy holding on to you? I don't think he can do anything to me that I'm not doing to myself. I just don't believe anybody would really have power over me like that. I think that if he's able to hold on to me, it's only because I still hold out. And I mean, I'm absolutely still do. So I know that it's definitely on me to shift that. But I, you know, just like you, I get the messages too, and I'll be like, well, maybe this is about this person, or like, maybe this is about this thing, and maybe it's not, maybe it is, and maybe it's not. And I do the same thing. And I always think too, like, well, if I'm not entering into any other situations where I have any other opportunities, then it must be that it's this person, or something, or I don't know. And I think also, you know, that image of the divine feminine having to charge towards the mountains, it's like thinking about meeting somebody and going through all the stages. I'm 41. I've devoted 14 years to the memories and future memories of this person. And it just seems like insurmountable to be able to like start again or find someone again, which is, you know, another reason why it's like very, what do I want to say? Like, discouraging, I guess is what I would want to say. It's like discouraging to be like, okay, well, sure, I am open to new connection. Like, if I found a new connection that really resonated with me, I know I could put my person behind me 100% and just be like, I love him unconditionally. That was a part of my life. He taught me everything I needed to know about certain things, and I appreciate that, and I can see how I was meant to go on this path. Like, 100% I feel that. So it's just difficult for me to like understand why, if I'm in that headspace, really truly open, why I can't seem to get into a situation where that is true for me. And it might just be about, you know, I just need to change my affirmations, or be more present. I'm carrying in a lot of my past energy into my future by being a person who overthinks a lot, and just needing to do a lot more meditation, being a lot more present in the present moment. I do think those are some things that will help. But it also just feels exhausting, because it's like, how can you work so hard? I think about the people in the world that are shitty. They're shitty to everybody, and they have all this stuff, like all these opportunities, and you wonder, like, you try hard to be good and to be positive and bring light into the world, and I don't know. But one of the things about the work that I do, being able to reveal emotion and show you that you're not alone in the thoughts and feelings that you have, and that, you know, this journey is not simple, it's not straightforward, it's not, there's not a single human being on TikTok who knows exactly what they're talking about or how to navigate it. And if they claim to, they're absolutely dangerous. I saw somebody claiming to be the Archangel Metatron the other day. I was so irritated by this. This person has said the wonkiest shit I've ever heard, and just has so many followers and so many people viewing it. I'm just like, what are you? There's not an angel in the universe that would get on TikTok and be like, I'm the Archangel Metatron. You wouldn't be able to look at them. Your eyes would burn out of your head. Like, what is he talking about? I was so irritated by him. I can't think of what his name is. He's in the agency that used to manage me manages him, and they told me that I should like watch his content because he does really well getting diamonds. And so I should watch what he does. So I went and watched his content, and he says the craziest shit I've ever heard. He says like, he says all this, like a lot of stuff about conspiracy stuff that's just wonky. Stuff about how like I don't know, like it's easier for white people to be possessed because we have less melanin in our skin. And I'm just like, okay, that's random. I haven't heard that one before. Apparently that's straight from the Archangel Metatron. So I was like, okay. I mean, I get there's a lot of white devils in this world, but I don't think it's because of melanin. I think it's because of power, money, and supremacy. Like, what is going on? Oh, God. Yes, trust the universe. It does feel unfair, right? It does feel unfair. But it's not. Let's get some healing messages to help with the energy, the emotion that is coming up personally for me, but I'm sure it's a shared emotion for everybody. So let's get some healing messages. What will soothe a lot of this struggle for the collective right now? So the Hierophant. So having faith in where you are at, which truthfully I do. Like, truthfully I do. I rail at it. I get frustrated. I don't understand it. But in my heart, I have faith. I'm like, I know that this is the right path that I'm on. Not necessarily with this person, but just if this person is in my life or if they're not, or if I find someone else or if I don't, or whatever it is, I definitely do have that faith. So continuing to just keep that faith in your highest version of self. Like, really think about your highest version of self. Think about it for a moment. Visualize that person, the person that does all the things that you want to do and says all the things that you want to say and dresses how you really want to dress, and their body looks how your true authentic body is meant to look without interference from media or family members, or but just who that being is, like that beautiful being that's totally accepting of everything about you. Like that higher version of self. Would that higher version, would that person, that wise, gifted, talented, confident, powerful, magical being, would that version give the version of your person that you're focused on right now the time of day? Really? Like, because the person that you want right now that it's not working out with, they seem like so amazing. But if you thought of yourself as worthy as you truly are in that highest incarnation, if you really thought of yourself as that being, would that being give a fuck if they got a text message from your person? Because I don't know that mine would. I kind of think mine would be like, I mean, take a number. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe the reason why I can't get in alignment with this person is because this person is so far away from me. And that is what that energy is always saying. Like, I'm not on your level. I am not on your level. And it's like trying, I'm on channel 101 and they're on channel 98. And I keep trying to hear them, and we can't hear each other because we have to turn the dial. I have to like go back a few steps to tune in, which is the kind of shit you do, right? You go back into the cycle. In order to communicate with your person, you have to go back to their level. So for me, I would have to send him playlists. I would have to write, I would have to like post vague stories. I would have to like drop little Easter eggs in all of my public content that are secret and just for him. And then I would have to go out with other people and make sure that there were images of me so that they could see me being like, living my life and not caring about the situation. And then I would have to go perform music in front of millions of people that was referencing my situation, but never actually speak to him. So I haven't been willing to do that in about, I think it's been since July. So August, September, October, November. So 4 months I've been like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not going to do that anymore. If I say things in my video, I'm saying it. It's not hidden. I'm right now fucking talking about you. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm not like, oh, it is a mysterious person. Like, I'm not going to out him because I'm not that much of a bitch. But at the same time, like, also, he's lucky. But, so I would have to go back in my life to be able to have like the exciting fling that he wants to have, which is just a virtual fantasy. And I'm not on that channel. I'm on a different channel. And I guess that's why it's so hard. And we want this person to elevate. We want this person to lift up and elevate to be on our station. But our past version of self keeps just kind of, when we think about them, we have to tune back into the old station. So it would actually be really more powerful to tune out from that station, tune in to your present vibration. If you're in channel 101, what kind of messages are you getting? What kind of thoughts are you receiving from your higher self? I am worthy. I am loved. I am powerful. I am brave. I am courageous. I follow my passions. I am capable. I am, like, those are the kinds of thoughts you're receiving. People approach me all the time. I have a lot of options. I am never without the potential for whatever it is I desire. I have, like, that's the channel you're on. Meanwhile, Numbnuts is on the channel of, I'm unworthy. I have to keep my feelings hidden. I can't express my emotion. My creativity isn't valuable. My emotions are a sign of weakness. The fuck channel are you on? Like, and we really can't do anything to get that person we're focused on off their channel. And in fact, every time we focus on them and we see them on that channel, we actually perpetuate that they're there. So that's like when you go on your social media and stalk them, you're going to see them on channel 98 because you just had to go down to channel 98 to see them. If you stayed in your channel, if you stayed in your lane and you didn't get distracted and you put your blinders on and you just headed straight forward in that 8 of Wands energy towards your future, towards your happiness, and you really didn't give a flying fuck what channel that person was on, the odds that they could rise to your level are much higher. And the odds that you won't give a fuck even higher than that. And as much as I teach this lesson and know it's true, it's still hard for me to do, but I've done it a lot more in the last few years than I have in my whole life. And I think I look pretty good, you know? Like, maybe I'm having issues. Maybe I'm still having to navigate my finances. But the reason I have to navigate my finances is because I'm doing something that is so fulfilling that it is worth it to me to continue to do it and believe in it and trust in it than to sell a piece of myself. Because I'm on a higher vibration than I was before, where I was willing to sacrifice time and energy for people who didn't care about me. But I'm not there anymore. And I have to shut out the old version of self in order to really arrive at the new version of self. Say it again for the screen recording. Look at all these comments. Y'all, thank you so much. When you comment, like, and share, that grows my channel. And when TikTok blocks my post from coming out, I absolutely need that help from you. So thank you so very much for that. I will put this crying video up on YouTube later so you can see the full reading if you want to. This card just came out. We have here the Two of Wands. And of course, we know the Two of Wands in this collective. We know, thank you so much for the heart. I really appreciate that. We know the Two of Wands in this collective better than anybody because it is associated with the twin flame energy. It's associated with asking for something and having to wait for it. It's restlessness. It's funny because when I used to read this card, and before I knew some of the astrology with some of the cards, I didn't realize how aggressive this card is. It is a Mars in Aries card. So Mars is ruled by Aries, this most aggressive energy. So this is so restless. My sister is an Aries sun and moon, and when she wants to go and do something, it's like you cannot stop her. She's a force. And so that is the energy of this card. It's like, I asked for it, now give it to me. And it's like, I will do anything to get dominion of it, and I will think of any strategy, and I will think of any plan. But the irony of this card is that it is this point that you do not need any plan or any strategy, because you have asked this higher power for something. This is again bringing us back to the Faith card, because the card after this is the Three of Wands. That's where you can finally see it coming in. Now, if you've been telling yourself, I can see this happening, but you're focused on this person from your past, and you can only see that person coming in, and that's not in alignment with your higher self right now, that's why it's not happening. Yes, you can see the potential of that person coming in, but they're not going to come in because you are still not on the right channel. Yes, the change is very, very slow. Think about a plant growing. Think about a tree growing. You know, I went and visited my ex-in-laws recently with my son, and I remember when they first moved into their house, it was in a development in Western Massachusetts, one of those ones where they like just raised a bunch of trees and then built a bunch of like houses that if you were drunk enough, you'd probably walk into the wrong house. And they planted these little dinky trees. And I remember when we first were visiting them that I always thought it was funny looking, because it was just this like weird barren expanse with these pretty basic houses and then these little tiny trees, and it was not that attractive. I was like, I never liked how it looked. And then I went back with my son recently when I just took him back to home, so that would probably be in August, and we drove over there, and I was like, oh my god, this neighborhood. And I was like, my god, it looks so beautiful. And then it dawned on me that over 10 years those little trees had grown into pretty big trees, and they were full of leaves, and it was green, and the whole neighborhood had completely transformed just from that, the growth of the landscape. And now it's a beautiful place, and you can see its beauty, but it took 10 years for that growth to really fully expand into what it can be, and it's not done. It's going to grow and grow. They're going to be taller when I go back 10 years from now, if we ever do that. And it'll just keep growing. And that's really, you know, that Eight of Wands again at the bottom of the deck, wanting to speed things up, wanting to rush things. You're going to get there. Just like the tree is going to grow. You're going to get there. And the slow growth is for you. It's for you, you know. There is someone for you. There is a material version of a divine masculine counterpart that does exist. You have asked for it, and this version is there. And this is not gendered, and you don't necessarily know exactly who this is. I do think that it can be the person that you're focused on, but it is definitely not the version of them that you are focused on. The version that you are focused on is not with you. So the version that you are focused on is not this version. It is not your material manifestation of your masculine. It is still your fantasy version. And the focusing upon that person in their current state is not helpful. Visualizing a new version of them, assuming there is this new version of them, assuming that they are different, those are some ways that you can transform that current energy. But the problem with that is that it's very difficult because of all that you carry. It's not that it's impossible. It's absolutely possible. I believe that. I have faith that that is true. But it is very difficult, and it is what makes things go very slowly, right? I want to clarify this Hierophant, please. Page of Wands. Okay. So this is a very beautiful thing, because it's like, have faith that this connection, this communication will start. It will be initiated. You will hear something from this, from a person, from this person, or from a new person. There will be a chance to explore the relationship that you desire with that King of Pentacles that you're trying to be with. Look at that. The Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. It's slow. It's very slow. But think about it. There's a point where you ask for this person until this current moment. You've already moved through the bulk of the journey. Most of the journey is behind you. You're really at that precipice. You're like, my brother went hiking recently. They went to a big mountain, and he hadn't really done a mountain like that before. And he was really out of shape, and but he loves being outdoors. He absolutely loves it. So he spends a lot of time outdoors and he enjoys it. But this was a challenge for him. And he said he hit this one point where he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to go the rest of the way. And his friend was like, you know, we can wait, you know, we'll wait for you. Like, it's okay. So they all paused for a moment, and, you know, he's looking up at the path ahead, and he can't see the top of the mountain. And he was just feeling like, you know, I don't know if I'm going to make it. But then they got back up and they started going, and then they were actually very close to where they needed to be, but he just couldn't quite see it yet because of the perspective from where he was. So if he had given up and walked all the way back down the mountain, he would have missed this moment, right? That he's been asking for, of like seeing, of like having accomplished and seeing everything that he accomplished, like spread out there before him. But he stuck it out and he kept going, even though it was hard, and he got to the top and he felt really satisfied. And then he came back and he was like, you know, I want to be in better shape. I want to take care of myself more. It was amazing to be up there. I'm so glad that I did that. So I think the same thing is true here. I think you are very, very, very close. The bulk of this journey has already taken place. You're at that final stage where it just seems like you're questioning everything. You're questioning if you have enough energy to get to the top, and you do. The Four of Pentacles. Notice this is the only card in reverse because Divine Feminine, you're holding on to the old version of your person. It's so difficult to let that version go. I wish I could figure out a way to articulate how to do this in a simple, straightforward manner. Not being attached to outcome means you let it go. You have faith that the right thing is going to happen, and so you don't spend time thinking about it. So holding on to something is thinking about it, which includes checking their social media. Like that is how you're consistently reviving the thoughts of the old version of the person. You have to take your focus off of it because that isn't the person you want to be with. That person is a wreck. That person doesn't have any idea how to communicate with you. He doesn't have any idea what to do. That's why there's nothing happening. So if you keep looking for that version, you're going to keep finding it. So I want you to imagine, we're going to do a visualization. We're going to do a visualization. We're going to visualize our higher version of self, and we're going to visualize their higher version of self. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it right now. So after this visualization, if you would like a personal reading, you can click the link in my profile. It's $33. PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. Alternatively, you can book a private reading for $33 or more. There's a few different options at the link in my profile as well. And I'm running a special too. I just want to let everybody know this before we do the visualization. I'm running a special that if you book a $33 reading on my site and put in the notes that you would like the Tell Me Everything spread, I will give you that spread even though it is normally $44. And that is going to be good until tomorrow at midnight. And then after that, it will go back and it will be $44 again. So you can save $11 if you book a reading with me in the next 2 days. You can save $11 on that Tell Me Everything spread, which is by far and away my most popular spread that I have. Okay, we are going to do a visualization, and I'm going to pick different music actually because I want yep, here we go. So we're going to do 999 hertz. All right, so get comfy. I'm going to bring out my selenite wand because I want to cleanse the energy, especially from all the emotion that I brought into this reading today. And I want you to begin to just check in with yourself right now. So just notice the way you feel physically. If you're a person who reads energy, maybe sense the energy around you. What's that feel like? And what are your thoughts like right now? And all you have to do is just notice them. Just notice your breathing, if it's shallow or deep. And again, there's nothing you need to do except for just observe the way the body feels right now, the way the mind feels, the way the energy feels. And I want you to start to relax into the way that you feel. And focus deeply on your breath. Coming in and out. I want you to be very aware of this present moment. Just how it feels to be in your body. And we're going to move now into our visualization. I want the goal of this visualization just to be to feel better. So I'm wanting to set an intention that this visualization is going to help me feel like my highest version of self, which is all that I'm seeking. There is no other ego motivation except to just be. You're not trying to gain anything. You're just trying to know yourself. I want you to imagine being in a place that you love. It can be a real place or a place that you imagine finding a lot of joy within. And I want you to just spend some time being there in that place right now. If you're a person that likes the water, maybe you're at the ocean, or you could be in the woods, or in a library. But this place, it feels like home to you. Now I want you to imagine that you are all alone in this space, and you call in your highest version of self. This version of self enters this space with you. Notice what they look like. Notice how they carry themselves. Notice the clothes they're wearing. I want you to ask this version of yourself to sit down beside you. And I want you to ask them to tell you something that is most important for you to know right now. Just file this away, and when you come back, you can write this down. Now, I want you to imagine yourself embracing this higher version of self. Feel the emotions come up as you feel the love pouring from them, because this version of self is so proud of you, sees how hard you've worked, loves everything about you, accepts you as being a part of their growth. There isn't anyone who could love you more in this moment than this highest version of yourself. And I want you to imagine, as you're embracing them, that you start to melt together, like warm honey. Just emerging into each other until you become one. want you to call in your person's highest version of themselves. Imagine them standing before you. They are healed. They are whole. They are happy, confident, glowing, and they feel that same love that was emanating from your higher self just moments ago. I want you to ask them now to sit down beside you. And ask them to tell you something important that you need to know right now. Now imagine standing up together and facing one another, looking into each other's eyes, and then draw your person in to an embrace. And just like you did with your higher self, I want you to imagine all of the emotion, all of the love that comes from this higher version of your person pouring into you. And all the love you feel pouring into your person. And I want you to envision that you begin to melt together. Warm, safe, becoming one. Back to me. And let me know how you feel now. Which I hope is very, very good. So, once everybody's kind of come back to the room, let me know. You're welcome. You cried, yeah. Wow. Oh, Alyssa, I feel you, honey, but you will not be alone forever. You're not alone even right now. So, if you are wanting to do that meditation on your own at any point in time, I just went to YouTube and grabbed 999 hertz, become a better version of yourself was the frequency that we were listening to. And why don't we try this as a collective and report back and see how it goes? But what I think we should do is when we feel the urge, so here's what we're going to do. After we sign off today, which I'm going to do pretty soon, you're going to go ahead and check your person's social media. And you're going to do this knowing that this is your last chance to do this today. And I want you to give yourself 24 hours, so 1:30 tomorrow, And at 1:30 tomorrow, you can ask yourself, if you even think of it, if you want to check your person's social media, it would be okay. Or you can make the decision to see how it feels not having checked it in 24 hours. But during this 24-hour period when you will be resisting urges to check, what I want you to do is to close your eyes and go back to this visualization. And remember that the version of the person that you want to see is the one that you see in your visualization, not the one that you're going to see when you check social media, because the one that you check when you check social media right now is going to be the one that you were just thinking about before. It's not going to be the new version that you're going to see emerging. The same thing is going to happen with yourself. You're going to start seeing yourself shift and change into this higher version when you check in on yourself. So continue to use this for this week. I'm going to probably try to do this visualization with us a few times live over the next few lives that I do, because I'm really feeling that this is very, very important. I'm definitely going to watch this playback and do this visualization myself where I can partake more in it, although I was seeing these things while I was guiding it. But I think that there is going to be something very powerful about making a conscious choice to think about your highest version of self and the highest version of your person, rather than observing the lower version that you have been manifesting by thinking about it constantly. And it can't hurt. And it definitely feels way better than thinking about the version that doesn't talk to you or doesn't call you. It doesn't follow through. And see if you make any progress. Another way to do this visualization is to imagine just your ideal person. Maybe that isn't even the person that you've been focused on, but just an ideal person who's standing before you instead of the highest version of your person. You can do that too if you're wanting to try to move on from someone. But ultimately, the goal is to change our thought patterns that are habitual and recurrent in regards to that person from our past who we still long to be with. And see how it goes. Let me know over the next few days if you catch me live again. Definitely let me know, and I'll be interested to see if you feel an improvement in your mood, in your well-being, maybe even in your experiences with your person. Because when we envision this person, we assume the potential. If you believe you have the potential to become your higher self, then you must believe that your person does. And so this is your way of assuming a better version of them too, and trying to stay more in that place that you want to be and less in the place that you're, not really gaining a lot from. You're so welcome. I'm going to sign off for now myself too. If you would like a private reading today, please book one on my site. I could definitely use the financial support. And please share my content. Help my channel grow. Keep your eyes peeled for that Divine Masculine Love Letter. I'm hoping that TikTok will let me post it later tonight. I'm going to try again. And if they don't let me post it, then I guess we'll just call it a day. I think I might put it onto my YouTube though. So if you can't find it on TikTok, check my Tuned In Tarot YouTube for that post and also this replay as well. So thank you so much everybody for being here and for holding the space for me and my emotion and my pain and my struggles, because I do feel so supported by all of you. Actually, I know that if I came to my community here and told you all that I was in need, that there's so many people would step up, and that means a lot to me, honestly. Thank you. All right, everybody, I'll see you later. Have a good day today.